Fresco, Hardcore Bloodshot here. I'm finally back again. Been very hectic the last few months. Been very, very busy. But I got my top 3 picks of the week. First one I've got is Judge Dredd Toxic. This is the IDW stuff of Judge Dredd. I've recommended Judge Dredd before. This is a new storyline. This is the second issue. Basically, what's happened is that there is a symbiotic organism that's living under the city of Mega City 1, and it allows the people that live in the underbelly of the city to essentially process all the waste and all the toxins and all the acid, and allows them to survive down there, but it makes them into mutants, and mutants are not very welcome in Mega City 1. It's a lot of very heavy-handed political stuff that's very, very, where shall I say, blunt and obvious compared to what's happening in current politics. Donald Trump even makes a cameo at one point, which was incredibly annoying.
Fuck Trump!
Yeah, it's incredibly. It's not the best Judge Dredd stuff. It's actually kind of the weak stuff. The writing is okay. The artwork is really good. I definitely recommend it still because, as we all know, Judge Dredd artist Carlos Esquerra recently passed away. So there is a tribute to him in this book. So it's definitely worth checking out. Not the best Judge Dredd, but I'm always a fan of the Dredd stuff. And this is the IDW stuff. It's kind of set its own universe. It's not really part of 2000 AD. But it still works on its own. Next up, we have Bloodborne, The Healing Thirst. So this is done by the same people that do the Dark Souls books, the company Titan. It's not quite as good as the Dark Souls stuff. The artwork is good. It's not amazing. The writing is good. It's not amazing. But I personally like the Bloodborne universe more than Dark Souls because Bloodborne is more H.P. Lovecraft and is much more science fiction and more horror-based. Dark Souls is more knights, mages, and swords and sorcery. I'm more into the science fiction and the horror than I am into knights and swords and sorcery. Basically, the premise is that in the universe of Bloodborne, the town of Yharnam is being overtaken by a plague. And the church, the healing church, is using this stuff called pale blood as a means of trying to cure all the people that are suffering from this plague. As it turns out, the healing church is fanatically religious and is actually causing more of the plague because of the blood, but people are agreeing with it because of religion. It's basically a science versus religion storyline. It's a little bit on the nose, a little bit blunt. There's a scientist that's trying to solve the plague through science, and there's a priest that's trying to solve it through faith. Obviously, the priest is realizing that it's not quite working, and the healing church is actually creating more of a problem than they are actually solving it. It definitely fits into the universe of Bloodborne very well. It's designed as a prequel. This is the second story arc. The first one was more of its own little separated narrative, but this ties in as a straight-up prequel to the game. If you want more Bloodborne, there's not going to be a Bloodborne sequel, as far as we're aware. This is definitely a good place to pick up more of the storyline. And the last one I have...
It's thick.
Silver Surfer, the Omnibus. This is the Dan Slott run that was from 2014 to 2016. I have read very little Silver Surfer, but I picked this up simply because I love that cover, I love that artwork, and this did not disappoint. I love Michael Allred's artwork. I think he's worked on several Marvel books. He's also worked on some Vertigo stuff as well. This is some of the more fun and adventurous and over-the-top stuff that Marvel's done in the recent years. I put it up there with people like characters like Ms. Marvel or Squirrel Girl. It's more kind of out there, and it's fun, it's pulpy, it's adventurous. Basically, Silver Surfer is traveling in the universe. He gets caught up in this situation where he gets a premonition of the future, and he is goaded into protecting this one planet, and a woman named Dawn is used as leverage to force him to work for the people that are running this planet. From there, it goes off on its own tangent. The two of them are traveling the universe and exploring and finding new things. It's kind of like a Star Trek storyline, pretty much, which is why I love it. It's some of the most fun stuff I've read from Marvel in a while. It's not deep, not complex, but it's a lot of fun. Very clever, very witty. I don't know if this actually sold very well when it was coming out. It doesn't seem like something that would be big and mainstream, but I still enjoy it. I still love it, and it's got great printing. It's very, very well done. And just the fact that the jacket comes away and the cover just looks like this, that right there, that sells it so good.
That's sexy.
That artwork is amazing. I want that on my wall. So yeah, that's my 3 picks of the week. Judge Dredd Toxic, Bloodborne The Healing Thirst, and Silver Surfer.
How can we follow you online, Jesse?
Follow me on Instagram, Jesse Fresco. I'm moving away from Facebook eventually. I'm probably going to be going over to Twitter as well so I can keep up with all people in real time.
But Mark Zuckerberg wants all your information.
Fuck that guy.
Cut.
So we